So students, so we have discussed about the sum, average and the count in the part 1 of this video. So here now we are going to discuss about today function. Today function. So in today we don't have to give any range. We just have to write the today function. Now what does it do? It displays the current date. It displays the current date. Now how to write it? Begin it with equal sign, then write today and the small bracket open and close. So the current date will be available on your cell. Next function that we have is int. Int stands for integer. What is integer? All negative and positive value including 0 is known as integer. And then we write a number over here. Now what does it do? It rounds off a number to the nearest integer. It rounds off a number. It rounds off a number to the nearest integer. To the nearest integer. What is the method of writing over here? Begin it with equal sign, then write integer. You can write the cell address over here or a particular value. Like suppose I have written 102.78, or I can write over here integer integer and over here a particular cell address. Say suppose A5. Then the value of A5 will be rounded off to the nearest integer. So this was the fifth function that was provided by Excel to us. Now the next function that we have is odd. And here we give it the number. So it returns a number rounded off to the nearest odd integer. What does it do? It returns a number. It returns a number rounded up. It returns a number rounded up to the nearest odd integer. To the nearest odd integer. Now what does odd number do? It returns a number rounded off to the nearest odd integer. So here also how to write it? We can write it either begin with equal sign, then write odd, and suppose I have written 102.78, or you can write is equal to odd a particular cell address, suppose C6. So it will be rounded off to the nearest odd integer. Next function that we have is over here is rounded. Is round. So what are the things that are given in the bracket over here is, first of all, number, the number that we have to round off, and the number of digits over here, number underscore digit. So what does it do? It rounds off a number to specified digit. It rounds off a number to a specified digit. To specified digit. How will we use it? We will be using it like is equal to round, and then we will be writing first of all the number, suppose 23.4671, and the number of digit that we have to round it is equal to 1. After decimal 1 places we want to round off, or we can write is equal to round and then the cell address. We can write the cell address over here also. Like suppose C5 is in cell address that contains a value which we want to round. Now the next function that is available as is SQRT. SQRT. And here we have to write the number that we want to find the square root of it. So it returns a square root. What does it do? It returns a square root. Example is equal to SQRT. Suppose I have written 16 over here, so it will find the square root of 16, that is 4, and the 4 will be available for us. Or we can write over here SQRT, a particular cell address that will contain a value whose square root will be founded. So these were some of the commonly used functions in MS Excel 2010. The first one is sum function, in which we have to give the range. What does it do? It calculates the sum of a given range. Next, we have average function. What does it do? It calculates the average of a given range. How to write it? We have to first of all start with equal sign, average, then give the cell reference over here. Next, count function. We have to give the range. It will count the values in the cells. So it counts the number of cells in a range. How to write it? Is equal to, always begin with equal sign, count, and then write the cell reference over here. So it will count the number of cells over here, and then it will provide the answer. The next function that we have is today. What does it do? It displays the current date. How to write it? Begin it with equal sign and then today function. Next, int number. Int stands for integer. What does it do? It rounds off a number to the nearest integer. How to use it? Begin with equal, then write integer, and then write the value which you want to round off to the nearest integer. Or you can also write the cell reference that contains the value which you want to round off to nearest integer. Next, we have odd number. What does it do? It returns a number rounded up to the nearest odd integer value. How to use it? Begin it with equal sign, odd, write the value which you want to round off to the nearest add, or you can write is equal to odd and a cell address over here that contains a value which you want to round off to the nearest odd integer. Next, we have round. So here we have to give two arguments over here. The first is the number one argument, and the second is the number of digit that you want to round off. So what does it do? It rounds off a number to a specified digit, like is equal to, begin with equal sign, round, it is the function. This is the first number, the first argument, and then the second argument, the number of digit that you want to round off over here. Or you can simply write is equal to round and then the cell address which contains a value that you want to round off. And the last but not the least in this topic is SQRT. So here we have to write the number. What does it do? It returns a square root. Like suppose I have written is equal to SQRT 16. So it will find the square root of 16, that is 4. Or we can write is equal to SQRT C5. So here the C5 is the cell address that contains a value, and the square root will be founded and will be available in that cell. So these were some of the commonly used functions in MS Excel 2010. So next we have also discussed about how to perform a function using the insert functions. We have also discussed performing a function using the if functions, function library. In function library, we have discussed about some of the functions like AutoSum, recently used, financial, logical, text, date and time, lookup preference, maths and trigonometrical functions. In the last video, we have discussed about AutoSum features. What is AutoSum feature? How to use the AutoSum features, the different options available for using the AutoSum features. What is chart? What is the importance of chart in MS Excel? we have discussed about the different components of chart like data series, chart title, x-axis, y-axis, axis title, chart area, plot area, grid lines, legends. We have also discussed about the types of chart, and in the types of chart we have discussed about the column chart, the bar chart, the line chart, the scatter chart, the difference between the column chart and the bar chart. Next we have discussed pie chart. So in this video we are going to begin with the area chart. So what is an area chart? So the area chart is also considered as an important type of chart. So the topic that we are going to discuss over here is area chart. So what is an area chart? So in this type of chart, the data are placed on one on top of another, and they are used for producing a total. It is the same as the line chart. So what is the difference between the line chart and the pie chart? The difference between the pie and the line chart is that the point markers are not displayed, and the area under the lines is filled with different types of colors in area chart. So so what is the use of area chart here? So we can write over here the data can be plotted here. The data can be here. The data can be plotted one on top of another. One on top of another. So here the data can be plotted one on top of another and producing a total over here. Producing a total. So what is area chart? So here we find the data can be plotted one on top of another, producing a total. So this is the example of this is a diagram of area chart where we find the one on top of another over here, and this type of chart represents the magnitude of change of data over time. So the important thing for the area chart is that what does it represent? So it represent the magnitude of change. It represent magnitude of change. It represent magnitude of change in data over time. It represent magnitude of change in data over time. So this is the area chart. Now we are going to discuss the next chart, that is the radar chart. That is the radar chart. So what is the radar chart? So this type of chart, the data is plotted in concentric circles. The lines are used for connecting the values from the same series. So in the radar chart we have the data is plotted. The data is plotted in concentric circles over here. In concentric circles. So here the data is plotted in concentric circles. So the lines are mostly used for connecting the values from the same series. So this is an example of radar chart over here. So look, the concentric circles are drawn over here and the lines are generally used to join this. So this is the radar chart. So now the next type of chart that we are going to discuss over here is the 3D surface chart. 3D surface chart. So what is 3D surface chart? So it is a three-dimensional view of data that are created and are plotted on the chart. So it is a three-dimensional view. So it is a So it is a three-dimensional view. So it is a three-dimensional. So it is a three-dimensional view of data. It is a three-dimensional view of data that are created. It is a three-dimensional view of data that is created and is plotted on the chart. Next type of chart that we have over here is Doudna chart. Doudna chart. Doudna chart. So here in Doudna chart, the data are arranged in either in columns or rows. Only a worksheet can be plotted in the Doudna chart. In the Doudna chart mostly looks like a pie chart over here, which shows the relationship of a part compared to whole. But in Doudna chart, it contains more than one data series. So in Doudna chart, the data are arranged either in rows or columns. Either in row or columns. Only a worksheet can be plotted. Only a worksheet can be plotted. Only. So what is Doudna chart? Here in the Doudna chart, the data are arranged either in rows or columns, and only a worksheet can be plotted over here. So look, this is the example of Doudna chart. It looks like a pie chart. We have the pie chart like this, and the Doudna chart looks like a combination of several pie chart over here. But what does it do? So it shows the pie chart generally shows the relationship of a part to a whole, but it contains more than one data series in Doudna chart. So this was the Doudna chart. Next we have a combination chart. Next we have the combination chart. Combination chart. So combination chart is a chart that combines two or more charts into a single chart. So what does it do? It combines two. So it combines two or more chart. It combines two or more chart into a single chart. It combines two or more chart into a single chart. So what is a combinational chart? It combines two or more chart into a single chart. In combinational chart, the different types of data can be plotted in the same chart using different chart types. So it is an ideal choice when we want to compare the individual items over here. So this is the diagram of combinational chart over here. So these were some of the charts that we discussed. So in the last video we discussed about the column chart, the bar chart, the line chart, the scatter chart, the pie chart, and in this video we have discussed about the area chart. What is area chart? What is radar chart? What is 3D surface chart? What is Doudna chart? What is combination chart? So these were some of the charts that we have discussed. Now we are going to discuss creating a chart. How to create a chart. Creating a chart. How to create a chart. What are the different options available for creating a chart, and how can we create a chart? In order to create a chart, suppose first of all we have to create a new worksheet. Select the cell. So what is the first step that we have to perform? The step 1 that we have to perform is create a new worksheet with data. create a new worksheet with data. Create a new worksheet with data, and the next step is select the cell range. Select the cell range which you want to create the chart. Step 3, go to the chart group. Go to the chart group, and in the chart group click on the insert tab. Click on the insert tab. Next, step 4, select the suitable chart type. Select the suitable chart type that you want. It can be a column chart, bar chart, or any other type of chart. Now once the type of chart is selected, you can give the chart title, etc., and then click on the OK button, and then the chart would be created over here. So from the drop down list also we can select the chart type option. The data that we have selected will be converted into the particular chart type. So this is how we can create a chart. So these were some of the topics that we have discussed in these videos. Students, if you have any doubt regarding any of the topic that I have taught you, you can ask me in the Gmeet class. Thank you.